Hello, my name is Ryan Coleman. I'm the Director of Economic Development for the City of Columbia, and welcome to the second episode of the Columbia Economic Development Podcast. Joining me today is Marcus Muncy. He's the owner and operator of Hotel Trundle, which recently opened here in Columbia. Appreciate you joining us today, Marcus.
Absolutely, happy to be here.
All right. And so I know we've got a lot of people who are interested to hear about y'all's story, so we'll just jump right into the line of questioning. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your professional background, and what was your inspiration for opening a boutique hotel here in Columbia?
Well, the hotel is owned by myself and my wife, Rita Patel, and we both have backgrounds in architecture. So we went to school for architecture. Rita went for interior design as well for undergrad. And her parents have owned and operated branded hotels for about 40 years now. I never had any desire to work in hospitality, but with the downturn in 2008 and 2010, I got displaced out of my job at the architecture firm in Charlotte I was working at, and her parents were just opening a hotel, so kind of came on and pretty handy, so I became the maintenance guy at the Holiday Inn in West Columbia, and she worked front desk, and then we taught night school at ITT, did everything we could just to kind of make ends meet. As we kept going, we started to look for the trends and where things were going with hospitality, and we're trying to convince her parents to look into doing an independent brand or a boutique brand. So we started shopping around and looking around downtown Columbia. We came across the Rose Talbert and the Western Auto and Powell building, and it looked like an awesome opportunity. And an opportunity where it was actually set up more of a lease upfit and not a purchase. And it was something her parents weren't interested in, but we saw that as an opportunity that we could do. So we jumped on it as something that we could do on our own without having to put millions of dollars in, which we didn't have.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
Understandably so.
And so the inspiration was there just for looking for some type of option or an opportunity to do a boutique hotel. Then we let the buildings really dictate the majority of the design of the hotel. And so I think if you were to look at the space and go into the hotel, you can see that each building, each space, every corner, every condition is different from building to building and from room to room, which helped kind of inspire the design and the space.
Sure. Now, I've had the question posed to me, so I wanted to ask you, because I'm sure it'll answer some other people's questions, but Hotel Trundle is an interesting name. So what is the backstory behind that?
Well, the name, my mother-in-law came up with that. We were sitting around one night just kind of spitballing names for what we could name the hotel. And we were thinking, what's another thing we could name for a bed? I think cot came out, but cot just seemed kind of hard, And but we were thinking maybe we could spin that. It could be something on Taylor, because our address is Taylor, but we just couldn't come up with anything. And then her mom threw out Trundle, and then the more we thought about it, Rita grew up on a Trundle bed. And that same Trundle bed is in our youngest son's bedroom now. So Trundle is kind of, I guess, a memory for her, and I think it's a nice. It rolls off the tongue well, and it's kind of a soft-sounding good name.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's a boutique hotel. The design of the hotel is very trendy, and y'all have gone through a lot of efforts to incorporate local flair and flavor. Tell us about some of the unique things you've done in there that really, say this Hotel Trundle is ours, it's a part of Columbia.
Yeah, if we could have done every single thing with local businesses, we hands down would have. They were the easiest people to work with. They'd bend over backwards for you. If you needed something, they'd come out the next day or that day and help you. Like some of the things you were talking about, flavor and other items from the pillows, mattresses, the beds, community tables, artwork, the beer, the coffee, the breakfast items, everything that we could do to make it local and really showcase what Columbia has to offer, which, people that aren't from Columbia, they, we're starting to get there, and I know that we were just kind of, I think, put in as one of the top 10 cities that were starting to kind of pick up, and we want to showcase those things that Columbia has, which a lot of people may not know about, and I we didn't even know that there was a 4th generation mattress company here right in West Columbia until he reached out to Rita one day, and that's when that whole thing started. But the goal is to keep everything as local as possible that we can. Yeah. And
revitalizing older buildings is not a quick, easy, or cheap undertaking by any means. It's a lot of work and care that goes into that process. Tell us about your experience of coming in and doing a rehabilitation and upfit project.
Well, it's interesting. It comes with its challenges, and you can certainly appreciate the buildings and the building methods, and each one was different. Each one had, whether it was masonry, whether it had some wood frame, some steel elements. But as far as revitalizing them, I guess the plus side is that federally and state-wise and city-wise, they make it possible to do with all the tax credits. Like you said, they're very expensive. I mean, if somebody were to just go in and try to do it, nobody would do it because it costs so much more. I mean, it's almost double of what it would cost you to do a new building. But because those incentives are there, it pushes people to restore them. Now, of course, there's guidelines and there's things you have to follow in order to qualify for those tax credits, which completely changing the program of the building is very challenging to do. So there's things like if it was a mercantile space, then it still has to have that type of feel to where there maybe was depth to the storefront, and we couldn't have built rooms like right up to the window and just made it that way. So, which in hindsight that makes for some nice spaces. That makes for a lobby that's probably sized a little larger than we really needed for the space. For the size of the hotel, the lobby's pretty generously sized for 41 rooms. But we've used it quite a bit, and I know that we've had it for First Thursdays, and you guys have been in there for events.
It's really nice
actually
space.
Yeah, and we have people that want to just come in there and have meetings or kind of almost rent it out.
Sure.
So, did I answer your question about that? Yeah. Okay.
So having had the opportunity, to interact with you and Rita, it's very evident, y'all are big on Columbia. Y'all are good advocates for the community, and y'all appreciate being here. What do you like about doing business in Columbia? What is it about the community that you find endearing?
It's all of our neighbors, I think is the best part. It's everybody that is really like the Main Street businesses that are extremely passionate about Main Street and wanting it to just, well, of course, a revitalization of Main Street, and the people that have been involved and getting to know them, working with them. Again, all the local people just either feeding us business and we feed them business back, or working with them on doing certain packages, and just the people that really truly care about it, that have lived here or grown up here. And we came here, Rita and I came here kind of kicking and screaming, to be in Columbia. Of course, we with a background in architecture, we were going to move to New York, and design skyscrapers around the world. And then we kind of wound up here just from the situations that we had, and now I don't think we'd see it any other way. We love it.
Marcus, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your day to come and join us here on the podcast.
Sure.
And from an economic development perspective, we certainly appreciate the time and effort and craftsmanship that y'all have put into developing such a unique and creative space down in the Main Street area. So for those who don't know, Hotel Trundle is located at 1224 Taylor Street, and you can find them on the internet at hoteltrundle.com. If you have not been down there, please take some time, go check out the space. It's really awesome in there. So thanks again, Marcus.
Absolutely. Thank you.